Down at the bottom of a very pretty valley, there's a magical place called Summerton Mill. And when the water wheel turns at Summerton Mill, a little bit of magic takes place. And, for a little while, everything goes back to how it used to be.
Oh, it's a lovely morning,
said Dan, and it really was a lovely day. Somebody was whistling.
Who's that then?
Said Dan, and he headed off up the track. Past Mousy Tongue, the cat, who was lying in the sun. Mrs. Naybhur was painting a picture.
Morning, Mrs. Naybhur,
said Dan.
Morning, Dan. Oh, sorry, Mrs. Naybhur. Oh, no, I've done it again. Wow! A painting. That's fantastic, Mrs. Naybhur. Well done. But, hang on. I can see you're painting the lovely view across the Summerton Valley, and there's you painting your picture. But you've painted me and Dr. Naybhur, and we weren't here. Well, you see, I've added you and Dr. Naybhur from my imagination, said Mrs. Naybhur. And the great thing about imagination, Dan, is that you can imagine anything you like.
And Mrs. Naybhur imagined for a moment, and then painted Fluffer sitting next to Dr. Naybhur.
See? I imagined Fluffer, and there he is.
Dan thought for a moment.
I can imagine a fluffy white cloud floating across the sky. Could you paint that into your picture, Mrs. Naybhur? Yes, I can do that. You imagine it, Dan, and I'll paint it.
And while Dan imagined a fluffy white cloud floating across the sky, Mrs. Naybhur painted it.
Why, hey, that's brilliant, Mrs. Naybhur. Just how I imagined it.
Morning, all, said Dr. Naybhur.
Oh, morning, Dr. Naybhur.
Morning, dear. That's a very good painting, Mrs. Naybhur.
Well, thank you, Dr. Naybhur.
I particularly like the fluffy white sheep floating across the sky. They all looked a bit closer at the painting.
That's not a sheep, Dr. Naybhur, it's a cloud. And look, we're all here, standing by Mrs. Naybhur's painting. Just like we are in Mrs. Naybhur's painting.
The only thing that's missing is the sheep floating across the sky.
It's not a sheep!
But they all agreed that if it was a sheep, it would look very funny.
Yeah, that's right.
And when Dan and Fluffer got back to Summerton Mill, Mousy Tongue was still lying asleep in the sun. And as the water level drops back down, the big old water wheel slows, and eventually stops. And Summerton Mill, still beautiful in its tumble-down state, goes back to being a home just to the wild animals, the birds, and the plants.